I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Good evening. How are we all today? Are we alive or are we awake? Are we sure? Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can hear me. Okay, you get the hang of it. All right. Now the next practice. Can you clap? Can you clap like an American? No. Can you clap like a Portuguese person? No? Okay, all right, come on. What's the biggest round of applause you've got in there? Okay, for Sarah. Biggest round of applause, Sarah? Okay, when the founders are up here, we wanted to give them an 11. You think you could do that? Imagine, because you are very scary, I know you are very scary, right? Being on this stage is pretty petrifying, right?
Actually, quite scary.
Yeah. So this is Sarah, she's in charge. What she says you do, okay? For the founders, if you give them an 11 energy, they'll hopefully give you a 15 back. If you give them a 7, they'll go home and cry. Okay? You guys, come on down.
Come down to the front.
Come on down. Bring the wine, bring the cheese, whatever you're setting yourself up with. There you go. Okay. What do you want to tell them, Sarah?
My first instruction, now you'll have to follow exactly what I say, according to Stu, is we are going to use Mentimeter for the whole of this evening. That's how you're going to give your feedback to the startups. It's going to how we're going to know what's going on in the room. So can everyone take out their phone? Firstly, make sure you've got the Wi-Fi because you're going to need that. And then we want to scan the QR code to get Menti up, and then the code you're going to need to log on is up there. 4270-4842.
So if you were at a lecture today or in a meeting, most people will scout at you if you've got a phone out. In this room, we want you to have your phone out. We want you to be voting, doing data, making comments. That's a good thing, right? If you're not doing this, I'm going to scout at you. Okay?
Active thumbs, what we want to see. Okay, perfect. Hands up when you're on Menti. We can see numbers as well, so no fiddling. I've got 20. Get a few more. Oh, I just need to anyone need to get up like Sam just to make sure you love the commitment.
When they give a demo, you'll have a chance to vote about saying you get it, you invest in it, you recommend it to a friend, and you also have a chance to put your questions in. All of that gets exported at the end of the PDF and gets distributed with the startup so you can see what you said about it. Okay, so even if it's a bit fast for them and miss something, they can get that output.
Super valuable. Great. All right. Okay, so if we're all set up.
Yes. Without spilling any beer, please stand up and introduce yourself to somebody next to you who you haven't already met.
This is also an opportunity to stand up and come to the front.
Yeah. But without spilling anything, Cameron, because I get into trouble when you spill stuff. Okay. Okay.
That's why you've got friends.
This is the moment where you get to meet somebody you didn't know before you arrived. Okay, so please go to and enjoy. We'll give you 30 seconds just to say hello.
That's how the crowd go. Right.
Okay, hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you can hear me. Hands up if you're so deaf you can't hear me at all. Hello, I'm here. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Have you had a chance to do this? Yeah, got that one in there. What do you think the number one thing is in all the demos we do around the world? We're going to do 22 demo nights this year. What do you think the number one thing is normally in the middle of that? Support. Networking. 9 out of 10 will not say technology. 9 out of 10 will say networking.
Right, there is a networking. I put an
Yeah, maybe a majority of us in the room are not people. Maybe that's what it is today. I don't know, but
It's going to be a great
it's usually
session.
about bringing people together.
There we go, big and bold. No.
Click the stream. Okay, a little special offer just to let you know that if you use that code, you get to the €1 scholarship places on our ideation program at the moment. It's an asynchronous 4-week thing that you can do on our platform to help you get from I've got an idea through to pitching for pre-seed. But it's a €1 scholarship place. They're open for the rest of this month, so feel free. This is the mantra that we work to with Demo Night. So imagine I'm giving a demo. Sarah asked me a question. I obviously learned something from Sarah asking me the question. Sarah might learn something from my answer. You learn something from watching me fail to answer Sarah's question. And we all gain from that experience. And that's how we run the Demo Night. The idea here is, do you remember why we run Demo Nights at all? It's because the number one reason that startups fail is that we build stuff that we think is awesome. Nobody else cares about it at all. And as a result, we run out of money before anybody actually pulls it through to the future. This Demo Night experience, when Marco stands up here and says what he's doing, if you say that's wonderful, I'd buy it, he's going to talk to you about money. If you say, I'm going to target demographic and that's purple, but if it was blue, I'd buy it, but why are you doing purple? I don't say. He's going to learn. And we're all going to be better as a result. That's what this is.
Lovely.
Right, scarily for me anyway, we're going to do a fireside chat now, where you get to hear from me and Ralph. Sound good interview, so you can understand how Canopy and City fit together. You can then ask your question in like 5-10 minutes. Then if Dan here yet, Dan, if Dan doesn't arrive in time, the next bit will go by very quickly. We'll go straight to the demo, okay? Please.
How loud are you feeling? Do you feel like you want your
We're
mic?
loud.
Oh,
loud.
actually,
Do you?
I've got a terrible cold, so I'm a bit croaky.
Little pop star.
Can you give Dan a 9 on the applausometer? A 9. The last one was a 7. Okay.
Thanks, guys, because I have got a terrible cold. Lovely to see you all here. Welcome to the first demo night of the new season, and it's only year 2 for us. My name's Sam Steele, and I work at City Ventures as an entrepreneur in residence. I've run my own business, I've sold my own business, and I advise lots of startups. Stuart here runs Canopy, which is a global startup network for startups offering advice, support, networks, very, very energetic networking community. And Canopy and Stuart work with City Ventures. City Ventures, this is Ralph Lafontaine, who's the Director of Entrepreneurship.
Head of Entrepreneurship, just promoting.
I've just promoted Ralph, Head of Entrepreneurship at City St George's, University of London, of which Bayes Business School is one of the schools of the university. So thank you very much, everyone, for braving the train strike and the rain to come and join us this evening. And this stage, just as you mentioned the stage earlier, is where Rachel Reeves gave the Mays lecture last year. So no pressure being up here. It's where the world's leaders talk about business. So the question I think you might be wondering is, what's the relationship now between between Canopy and City Ventures, and how does it work? Let's start with you, Ralph.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gail. I'll just use it just in case you can't. Okay, yeah, so I'm the head of entrepreneurship at City St George's University. So that covers Bayes, it covers all different schools, so science, technology, creative arts, all those kind of things. And also recently St George's, which is the largest hospital in South London, I think in London actually. So we now have a medical school. So it was a big university, we cover a lot of ground, and my job is to help undergraduates, postgraduates, alumni, and actually entrepreneurs in the local area, in what we call the City of London area, kind of start businesses and grow those businesses. And City Ventures essentially is the name we give to the support team, the startup support team that's here to support you as budding entrepreneurs, and also as you grow, try and pass you on to other networks, which brings me on to the point that Sam was trying to make there, which is how do we work with Canopy? And I'll just, in my own words, say very briefly that meeting Stuart about 3 years ago in a meeting with the president was really a game changer for us, because Stuart essentially brought a huge network with him. So we are a network of networks. Every time we speak to somebody, it's not just them you're speaking to. Ideally, you're also speaking to the people they know, and always ask for referrals and so on. So meeting Stuart was a really fantastic kind of watershed for us, really, saying it kind of gave us the vision and the ambition to set these demo nights up to support Stuart. Stuart pushed me very hard to say we should do this every month. I thought that's just too much, but he's absolutely right. So every second Wednesday every month you can come to demo nights now. And I think it's that extra expertise, it's the resources, it's the additional connections, international as well as in the UK, that that relationship brings. But as a university, it's our job to enable and convene these ecosystems. I don't think there's anyone else that can really do that other than universities, but we need to work with experts, entrepreneurs, and a wider range of people. So that was really, what kicked that off. And I think it's been a really good journey so far. I'm only really just getting started as well, I would say.
Yeah. Stuart, how does it work from your point of view, from the Canopy point of view?
It's very complicated most of the time. For those of you that don't know me, I've built incubators for early stage technology companies in Bangalore, Boston, and Lisbon. And so we use that stuff to help here. The reason we like City is multifold, really, but mainly it's the people because they're awesome. And also this is a place that can create an enduring heart for entrepreneurship in London. So the organization that did a lot around Silicon Roundabout was Tech Hub and Google Campus, and things changed during COVID for that. And what we looked for was a partner that could be enduring, long-term, holistic, thinking about the whole ecosystem. And one of the charters that we've discussed a lot is how you use entrepreneurship as a tool for social mobility, which fits massively with the manifesto of Canopy. If you haven't seen the origin story of Canopy, we started in Somerville, Massachusetts in 2014. The mayor of Somerville called us curious and abnormal people when we arrived into his city. And the former governor of Massachusetts was kind enough to be our patron for a while. And our opening keynote was from Noam Chomsky talking about the role of peace and international security and how innovation changes things and how that helps with peace and international security. And you can watch that on our YouTube channel. You can see what he was talking about. My co-founder, Matt, was mentored by Noam, and he was an activist in lots of different ways. And that's how we had that relationship. But the manifesto is, how do you give a zero barrier to entrepreneurship? How do you help people, regardless of their situation, to do stuff? And I don't come from money, but I've done 10 startups of mine and 4 exits and found ways to do all these things around the world. And we try and model that into what we do.
Thanks, Stuart. So one of the hard things about a startup is you might have an idea, but you won't have resources. And so the marriage really of Canopy and City Ventures offers people who come into its orbit a real wealth of resources. Ralph, what sort of resources have you got at City Ventures? You've got the resources of the university.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a kind of physical resource. We have two workspaces, Better Space and Venture Space, which are open to both students and alumni and also members of our community with social enterprises. We also have all the various support packages we're introducing. So we're upgrading a few of our offers. So we have a startup support package, which is a very low barrier to entry, simply needs a lot of enthusiasm and an idea. And then we're going to be launching this year a new growth support package, which will include a whole range of other benefits as well. So really, there's absolutely masses. I could go on, but yeah.
There is a website, and I'll give you the website in a bit, but it's free, isn't it? Everything that you offer is free because it's funded by the university.
Yeah.
And part of the university's key performance indicators is being able to show that you're supporting activity like this, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of civic engagement. It's good for our connection with industry. It's good to kind of use the resources of the university to kind of create economic benefit for everybody. So, and the social mobility element as well.
So do you have to be a student to be able to access all that stuff?
No, not at the moment. When we're running at full capacity, that might change, but at the moment we're open to anyone pretty much. So if you've got an idea, we want to work on it and you're serious, we want to talk to you. We'll take it from there.
And even if you don't need workspace, there's a lot of drop-in workshops. There's also the interesting thing about universities, there's a lot of IP in a university and there's a lot of expertise in a university. When I was starting my business, it would never have occurred to me to go towards the academic sector. But actually, if you need a bit of help and you need a bit of know-how and you can make connections through City Ventures, through Ralph and his team, then it's a free resource. And so that's what the university has to offer. And then what is it that Canopy brings to the party in that respect?
Okay, so the biggest thing that's the most useful and relevant thing that we do is people like Matt and people like Rachel, who are the in-residence team who mentor and support. So when you're a member of Canopy, and anybody who's involved in City Ventures as a result of our relationship has a free membership to Canopy, you can go to the calendars and you can book sessions with an expert CFO, an expert CTO, and spend time with them, half an hour, any time that they're available and they wish to donate that into the calendar. And you can talk to them about stuff. You can get help. It's the biggest single advantage we can give you is that expertise. And there are 17 people, these two included, that do that. Some are Portuguese, some are Indian, some are American, and some are from the UK. A good example is Chuck, our chief storyteller in residence. Chuck used to be an NBC radio. He lives in Boston. He runs accelerator programs purely in communications. And instead of paying a few $1,000s to go on one of his courses, you can go and spend a half an hour with Chuck and he'll take you apart. He'll ask you questions like, why do you belong to be in the cosmos? You know, he'll ask you what you do and you'll witter at him for 10 minutes and he'll say, yeah, but actually, what do you do? Because you've told me a lot of stuff, but I really don't understand. And he'll take you apart and put you back together again, probably in half an hour to 45 minutes. And then you'll come and do something like this.
Great. So I hope that gives you some idea of all the resources that are here and available and all the people who would really love to see you all succeed. Because I think, Stuart, you'd agree with me, once you've run a business, there's something about giving back and helping other people to run businesses. Because I can't tell you how many people helped me when I was running my business, who gave advice for free, who made connections for me, who pointed me in the right direction of funders. And it's just lovely to be able to put that back, isn't it?
Yeah. And there are three main barriers for most people in entrepreneurship. One is people like me don't do this stuff. And if you look around, there's a lot of people that are like you in this room, right? And there are people like me and Matt, and people like us didn't do this stuff either. And we do it. So barrier one goes away. Barrier number two is I don't have a network of people to help me. Well, we've just given you everything you need, from peer groups that can support you to lawyers, accountants, advisors, professional networks, all that stuff now exists for you. And we use it all the time. And there are 605 members of Canopy founders who are building stuff right now, and they're all using it too. And then the last one is I don't know how to get to money and I don't know what that money looks like. And we can dissolve that problem for you as well. So all the main barriers that you might have don't exist now you're in this room. Okay.
So before we move on, does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask either Ralph or Stu?
How did you get into running the how did you get into running the
City Ventures?
Yes.
I have a very twisty turny career. I'm not I had my own business for a while, kind of did that and then did that, but I learned a lot. I work for a charity, I work for local government, I've worked for another university. So it's been a very twisty, turny path for me, but I'm essentially really interested in entrepreneurship and ideas and helping people succeed. So I agree with what Sam was saying. For some reason, it's incredibly rewarding helping other people succeed. I don't know why, it just is.
Great. Can you just move on to the next slide? Because if you want to find out about all the stuff that is free at the moment through the university, there are drop-in workshops across a very wide range of subjects that you can pop into during the day. There's online stuff, and there's also loads of events like this that you can sign up for on the Eventbrite page, and you'll find it all on the cityventures.co.uk website. And there is a link on there through to Canopy as well, isn't there? And as Stuart said, if you become a member of the City Ventures, what would you call it? Incubator, you get free access to Canopy, which is actually a paid for service. But if you can impress Ralph with your idea and he takes you on, then you're into Canopy as well. So it's win-win-win. So without further ado, I think we should bring our first demo to the stage for you to give some positive feedback. Thank you very much.
Move some seats really quickly. Oh, yeah. All right. Check everything's ready.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hello.
great.
Yeah, I guess I'm good. Thank you.
You're good. First demo, over to you, Sid.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Siddharth. You can call me Sid. I'm originally from Chennai, India, but I spent the last couple of years of my stint in Singapore building my fourth venture, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Yeah. So how many of you here use meeting note takers? Anyone here? AI note takers? Yeah, that's half the room. That's great. So more than 140 billion hours of data is lost today, and that data is meeting data. What do I mean by lost is the current software ecosystem, SaaS tools, are struggling to capture this meeting data natively. Of course, you have these note takers, but how are they built? And to build them takes a lot of months for developers. And that is why we built Meetstream.ai. So what we are building is essentially an API platform and infrastructure that helps developers with one line of code spawn up an infrastructure in the backend, choose the platform, like let's say you're calling it for Google Meet, Team, or Zooms. We are a unified API. It'll automatically detect that, configure your bot. You can capture audio, transcript, send audio, and I'm going to show you how cool the audio thing is. And that's essentially what we solve for developers. So what takes 1 year, we do it in a few days or weeks with our API. So why now? Meeting data is the most valuable data, and it's what needs for any AI model to perform better. You need to give context, right? And every SaaS platform in any industry, sales, HR, productivity, project management tools, you name it, every software needs this meeting data to leverage advanced workflows and make things better. I'm going to show you what we can do with this API and how it's going to be easy for developers to build APIs, build workflows on top of that. Yeah, okay, can you switch to that? Yep, so this is our API essentially. So this is our entire product. Our product is just a bunch of API documentation for developers. We do have a dashboard that allows developers to do a bit of advanced stuff, but I'm going to show you how easy it is for developers to build a meeting bot or agent. So as soon as I call our API, what happens in the backend is the API creates an infrastructure, configures the bot, and then sends the bot into the meeting. And as we see, this is the AI meeting bot here. And for this particular bot and for tonight, we've configured it with a two-way communication capability. Hey bot, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing good. So we're doing a quick demo. Can you tell me what all you can do?
Sure. I can help answer questions, find information online, assist with designs and documents, manage workflows, and even help with real-time tasks like browsing web pages or handling forms. Let me know what you'd like to try out.
So what I want you to do is I want you to design a single poster for Canopy's demo night. I want you to use green and white colors, and I also want you to use the skyline of London. Can you make this in Canva for me? So what exactly happens in the backend is this bot is connected to an MCP server of Canva. Like this, you can connect it to any product platform. So this is just for the demo purpose. We have configured that. And it will create the design for you in real time. So imagine the future where in any conversation, you're talking about a product idea or you're talking about a presentation.
I've generated a few poster designs for Canopy's demo night with green and white colors and a London skyline. Could you check them out and let me know if any of them work for you or if you'd like some adjustments?
And yep, not bad, right? Yeah, this is what AI can do today, and it can do a lot more things. I think, Stu, you can probably use this for the next demo night. Yeah, so it can save you a lot of time. What can you tell me if it's raining in London right now and what's the weather there like? So it can do a bunch of stuff. So the idea is that we help developers and product teams save years of time and capture this real-time data.
Right now in London, it's around 16 degrees Celsius with some light rain. Would you like me to highlight that in the poster?
Well, let's say bye to him right now. Yeah, it's doing a little bit extra. Can we go back to the presentation? So that's the demo, right? So that's Meetstream for you. And we are backed by Antler. We raised our pre-seed 4 months back. In 4 months, we've built a pipeline of $2 million, have 14 pilots going. We got our first paying customer last month, and we're still in private beta, but we're rolling out to customers slowly. And the ask is, if you know any B2B SaaS product founders who might want to build this meeting intelligence into their product, would love that. Or if you can introduce us to more investors for our next round, we're raising $1 million in seed soon. That'll also help me. And if you want to try out the product yourself, if you're a developer, please do sign up to our waitlist. I'll onboard you quickly. And that's my LinkedIn. I think it should be there on Canopy as well. Thank you so much. That's it.
Let's go for an 11. You got an 11? Yeah. Right, we're going to start taking questions on Menti. I think we are anyway. But while we're waiting for everyone to get the questions in, I could just do a quick intro with the panel. So Rachel, if you want to go first.
Yes, it's intro first, I think, and then questions. So I'm Rachel Sestini. I'm the CFO in residence at Canopy. So I'm basically all about the numbers, but more particularly for me, what they mean, rather than there's nothing worse than looking at a whole page of numbers and no one really understands what's going on. Yeah, so that's me really. This is Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm the head of operations and sustainability at High Yield. I work with Matt. We're a tech agency and we build digital products.
Thank you. And we'll get our first question from the panel. Rachel.
Probably a predictable question, but what's your remuneration model? So who pays you? When do they pay you? How do they pay you?
So we're a pay-as-you-use model. So people, product teams pay us for the number of hours they use a bot. So we charge 20 cents per hour now. So let's say they have 2,000 users and each user consumes roughly 25 hours a month. That's like 50,000 hours of our infrastructure used, which translates to roughly about $10,000 a month. So that's like how the pricing works with product teams.
Okay. Can I just ask a quick follow-up? Isn't there a bit of a tension between the fact that it works really quickly and you're charging them by the hour?
So I didn't get your question. Can you go on?
Is there a little bit of tension? Because obviously the bot works really quickly.
Yeah.
So they're going to be completing their meetings in less time, but you're charging them by the hour.
I mean, that depends on the use case, essentially. So it's up to them. Like there are numerous use cases, people can make it efficient or people can make it longer. That's depending on how the product team uses it. So yeah.
Got a question over here.
Well, I have
have two questions. Thanks. Matt, I don't think the Mentimeter questions are being accepted. I don't know why that is.
Has anyone sent one in? Has anyone typed a question in?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
working.
allowing us to. It's saying that function isn't allowed. Sid, thank you
Yep.
very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Really interesting. I know you only had 5 minutes and it had to be quick, so maybe I missed it, but I don't understand the difference between your product and what already exists in, Adobe Express. I can easily make posters in
Right.
a lot of software tools already using AI. So,
Right.
so what's the big thing
So-
difference for you?
Our core product is enabling AI to access meeting data. So you can essentially do it with any product, Adobe Express, Canva, whatever. The end tool doesn't matter. That was just for demo purpose. But the core value that we bring in here is the ability for AI or software to access the data, which is the conversation we have inside a meeting, like Google Meet, Zoom, or Teams. So
Okay,
that,
so you could get it to listen to like a brainstorming session, and then when
Exactly.
you sum up at the end, you can just ask it to do that.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. And we think we've fixed Menti, so give it a go. But have we got any more questions from the audience? Lots of questions.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go over here.
Right.
Thanks. What other places could you point to? So could you use like Miro, for example, or, other kind of Figma, like what other design platforms, and what other functions can you use it for beyond design?
You can use it for anything. You can use it to send mails, build code. So the end product, again, the application layer is not what we focus on. We are the middleware between meetings and the application layer. So let's say you're building a tool like Trello or any project management tool. You can have, while the team is discussing, you can update the cards. You can update GitHub issues. You can do anything essentially with the meeting data, and you can configure it based on what your use case or product is. So we are the middle layer between meeting data and your application.
So would you support kind of the team and or the customer in kind of setting up the API to connect?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd offer that.
Yeah.
Is that part of the service, or is that an extra support?
No, we help them get set up in terms of accessing this data. What they do with the meeting data is essentially not where we get into. That could be numerous use cases for the client, and it's also proprietary to the customer. So we don't want to touch their code base. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you. Any more? Gonna go back here.
Hi. So who's your real customer here? Is it the people developing, say, a tool like Canva or Trello or whatever it is, or is it because you're inviting obviously something to your meeting,
right?
So you need another party that then wants to use the other tool,
right?
To then use your thing, right?
Right. So our customers are mostly B2B SaaS companies, especially in sales sector. So people building sales coaching tools like Gong or Avoma, they're all our prospective customers. Similarly for HR, people doing like interview analytics or interview coaching, anything to do with these three sectors are the top. Not saying they are the only set of customers, but mostly B2B SaaS product teams that want to leverage this data into their product.
Okay. And then I guess as a follow-up, do you not feel like that might make it difficult to have any significant adoption? So for example, if I'm having a meeting and I have to invite your tool in, and the only thing it can do is, an HR thing or a Canva or something like that, you really need a lot of tools integrated into it in the first place before it's broadly useful.
So that's exactly what our customers do. So let's say you're a salesperson and you need a sales tool that is integrated into your workflow. You're probably going to subscribe to HubSpot or Salesforce. Our customers will be HubSpot or Salesforce who will automatically send the bot to your meeting through our infrastructure. So they take care of the workflow, they take care of the application layer. We only take care of helping them create the bot, access this data, and then use anything with AI.
Okay.
I think we've got time for one more question down here.
Investors usually interested in how difficult is it to replicate your technology and your product with
quite
open
painful.
source?
Now it'll take at least 6, 7, 8 months, even with AI, to build this, because We've written in C, C++, Python, because every platform has their own SDK. Some don't have SDKs, like Zoom has it in C, and Google Meet doesn't have an SDK. Microsoft Teams has something else entirely. So it's quite painful, and that's why dev teams and product teams come to us instead of building it themselves.
Thank you.
Let's get a big round of applause for Sid, everyone. And we will welcome our next startup to the stage. Again, big round of applause.
Thank you. That was your sorry.
I'll do it myself if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all right. Okay, sorry. Just press this here?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Muntaha Salim, and I'm a founder of Sempiternal AI, which means timeless AI. And I'm also a PhD student at Department of Computer Science at City and St. George's University of London. So I'll be introducing my business today for you. To show you AI automation, I need you to please scan this code. So when you scan this code, you'll go to the blog page of my website. You'll see that there are blogs. But by the end of this presentation, you'll see that there are no new blogs posted there. So you'll see that by using AI automation, we can post new blogs. So I'll start introducing the business now. Okay, so why Sempiternal AI? Currently, there is a 3 to 3.5 billion pounds of UK market leak in our SME content generation and operations, because we as a Sempiternal AI are the only player which is blending web and AI automation, while our competitors are not focusing on it. They're just either doing web content, web development, or they are just doing AI automation. And we are basically a dual revenue engine. We have got revenue coming up from high margin website development, and then there's a scalable AI subscription model for us. And if you see that there is a clear immediate savings, for example, 40% of a 25,000 marketing budget of any SMEs can be redirected to any other business growth. Let me put it this way: you hire a content maker for SEO content maker, especially for £25,000, 40% of that money can be redirected to some other business growth steps, while the rest of the 25,000 you can still use it for advertising online or for paid ads. Okay. And why now? Because SME digital demand is currently surging, and we can, according to an estimate, the web development CAGR is 13.2% by 2030, and AI automation CAGR is 35% by 2028. And UMS sector, the total UMS UK SME sector is 65 billion pounds, and this is our target customers. And they are very driving high demand for web and AI automation together. And our business is a lean automation first model, which is built for scaling your business. And this is the window of opportunity for investors to get into before the other rivals catch up. Okay, so I'm the founder of this business, and I'm a telecom engineer with 2 master's degrees, which gave me rigorous technical foundation to drive this business. And I'm also expert web developer and AI automation specialist. And I was also a director at a mobile and IT retail business before for 5+ years. And I'm driven, and I deliver fast websites and scalable end-to-end AI automations on time. So from the conception of this business till now, Professor Tom Stephenson have been mentoring me, and I'm very grateful to him. And he's a PhD DIC Civil Engineering from Imperial College London. And he's also a fellow of Royal Academy of Engineering. And he's also a Royal Society Entrepreneur in Residence of this university. And okay, so we are asking to raise around £300,000 for 10% equity, which is a fair entry at £3 million of valuation for this business. And this will unlock 6.8 million revenue and 4.5 million in profit in the upcoming next year, 3 years. And we'll use this fund to scale capacity and client acquisition and AI subscription-based model. And we invite you to just plug a £3 billion UK leak and reshape the SME growth. So if you could go back to that, this code, and if you scan it again, you'll see that by this time there should be new posts on that blog page. Can you see the difference from the last post to the updated post? Yeah. So while I was presenting, the AI automation behind this model already generated a new picture and it generated a new content and uploaded it. If you open in any post, you'll see that it's a very, or it has table of contents and everything. So basically the thing is we can generate any kind of post for you. And if you go to the main page and you can go down, you'll see that there is realistic pictures as well. We can either create pictures from ChatGPT or we can upload your choice of pictures as well. And this is just one of the AI automation that can be we can provide. We can also provide social media posting AI automation, email posting AI automation, and SMS or messages as well. So it depends on you, on your business, what kind of AI automation can help you grow and reach your ROIs. So if you come to us and book a meeting online, and we can set it up for you, different kinds of AI automations. Okay, thank you. Questions?
Do get your questions in on Menti, but we'll get our first question from the panel and Laura.
Thank you so much for your presentation. That was really interesting. Is this something you've taken to market yet? And what kind of feedback and success have you had from clients or potential clients?
So not too many clients, just one or two personal clients, but yeah, we've got very good feedback from them that they are getting. I mean, instead of spending money on hiring a SEO content creator, they're spending it on advertising, paid ads. So it's good, spending money on paid ads rather than hiring a content writer. Because I mean, our services are the maximum at £3,000, while a business is hiring a content writer for £25,000. So you can see the difference.
Any questions from the room?
Looking at the quality of the content, I'm wondering if you have any advisory from that aspect, because it's really easy to see automated content. And I don't know if you've seen the engagement rates, because then the automation is to not just to not hire the other service, but to actually get leads or, what content works for. So I'm just asking if you have anybody seeing content or understanding how your automation can improve the content it develops.
So we can customize the content according to your liking as well, as much as we can. But when you ask for a product, it does not have to be human written to sell a product. It can be AI automated, and sometimes AI automated content can sell a product much better than a human written content.
More question? One at the back over there.
Yeah, so we have a business as well. We sell direct to consumers, so we try and write a lot of content from day zero. One of the things I've learned all that time, my background is not marketing, by the way, is that not just you have to write content that is useful, helpful, engaging, but you have to plan all of your content to make sure it links together, and you have to have your keywords, which ones you're going to bundle into a blog. Do you offer that kind of experience? Probably won't be in an SME. Do you have that kind of SEO advisory and strategy within the product, or can you offer it as a consultancy on top?
Yes. So what we do is that when a client comes to us, we sit down with them, discuss with them. And for a month, for example, they want to hire us for a month. We sit down, write the titles and the keywords. Once they approve it, then it goes into the AI automation. So everything is discussed and everything is approved by the client. Yeah.
Just going to quickly go to Menti for one. So how do you differentiate from standard LLMs that are increasingly sophisticated and capable of creating blog and SEO content?
Okay, so we are using standard LLMs in this AI automation. It's not that we created LLM. We are just using, connecting it in our AI automation.
Okay, and what's the differentiation then?
Nothing much. That's what I'm saying. I'm using the standard LLMs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions from the room?
If there is no much of difference between what I would probably create my own using ChatGPT or Gemini, and why would I even pay for you? Like if I can subscribe for 20 quid, then why would I even pay like 300 quid for yours?
But then you have to spend time and money to sit down and do it yourself. We are just freeing time for the, business owners to do something else, to spend time on something else, to spend money on something else.
Just a follow-up question, like if there is a competitor or if this market becomes more a commoditized space, then how would you differentiate between the content and how do you drive? Currently, like you can easily drive because there are right things to do, but if it is mechanicalized and if it's driven by a system, then how would you differentiate? If everything is A graded, there's nothing called B graded, then how would you differentiate the quality of the stuff?
Okay, so in the current marketing, digital marketing, when you post a blog, you see the number of views and everything. We learn from our experience and then we adapt accordingly. That how many views, for example, I got in this post or on this kind of title, on this kind of content. And by the next month, we sit with you, discuss with you, and then reorganize everything.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more question. Anyone? I think we've covered it. Big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
We're halfway through, everyone. How's the energy levels? Oh, that was about a 3, I reckon. We're going to need a bit more, I reckon. Let's take it up a notch and welcome our next demo to the stage.
Yes, please. First of all, can you all hear me? Yeah. Just quickly, I'm not going to use a microphone, so hold fire. Just got to get this one out and then we'll start going.
Bit of moving. Feng shui.
Yeah.
This is high tech.
This is.
Happy with the positioning?
You must be, yeah. So my name's Dan. I'm the founder of Phase 8. This is a new company that I'm starting. This is my second one. I will quickly run you through it. I've got some flashcards, and then we'll move on to a quick demo from my phone, and then we'll go to some questions, yeah? So the whole world is getting faster. Everything has become based on efficiency and speed. Dating as a whole idea has followed this. Now, dating has become inauthentic, with technology forcing snap judgments that means that you don't make genuine, heartfelt connections. There are people that you swipe past on Tinder that if you got to know and spoke to, could be the one for you. Now, instead, by using our format with 8 people matched together through an algorithm with a central theme, it allows dating to be slowed back down to dinner. In some ways, it's a new, revolutionary, but old way to date. This removes the high pressure, high stress, and dangerous level that can come with speed dating and Tinder and other apps such as this. And a second quick reason why this is awesome is it has 2 applications, both in friendship and relationship markets. That's me, by the way. You didn't know? One more. Oh, no. No back. Sorry, I'll miss you.
That's all right.
That's great. Why am I awesome? Here we go. So there's a phrase that I believe all of you in this room will have probably heard a few too many times. What you want to do is this. This person then proceeds to tell you an idea that they would never try, never put any risk towards, or put any work in to try and achieve. They just tell you. So if it ever became a success, they can say, told you so. Now, I'm glad to sit here and say that I have never said this, because if I have an idea, I'm going to put in the work, the time, the risk to try and make it a success. And all of this comes with hard work, something that I've applied to both businesses in my life. And the big question is, why now? Where's why now gone? Oh, it's in the wrong order, it doesn't matter. Why now? When it comes to business, stats speak for themselves. There's a lot of numbers behind me, but I'll focus you in on the important ones. The big one is that 40% of 16 to 29-year-olds felt lonely or often or always felt lonely in 2025, with 29% of 30 to 49-year-olds saying the exact same thing. And an overall 7% of the adult population, 1 in 10, said they felt lonely. This application as an idea can be used as a cheap, cost-effective, efficient way to help remove loneliness that is such a massive problem in our country, especially experiencing an increase from COVID-19. And my ask, which I believe is back, is I'm looking to raise £50,000 in order to get this app over the final hurdle. Everything is ready. There are certain parts, such as facial recognition, which I will show you in a minute, that I need to get developed. But after that, it's done. Then it's marketing. And I need support, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm 18. And help in legal fees, design, advertisement. All ideas are amazing. And everything that you can say, all critiques, is brilliant. So I'll move on to a quick demo where I'll show you the app. And I'll talk you through a dinner, because there are some twists and turns. See if technology doesn't fail me. Oh, there's me. There we go. So, effectively how a dinner works, we have an algorithm that puts together couples. We then try and put these couples together around a central theme. So I'm going to ask one of you to try and figure one out for me. I'll give you an example, which could be the theatre. All of these couples that are going to a dinner like the theatre. Has anybody got any idea of what we could theme a dinner around? Anyone? Someone's got to put their hand up, or Mum's going to have to.
Run in your own company.
Run in your own company. There you go. So we have a theme to a dinner. The reason we do that is because it's an instant icebreaker. It's a brilliant icebreaker, actually. You all turn up, you start chatting to each other, and you instantly have something to talk about. So before the dinner, there's 2 groups that get created. And each group gets put into a WhatsApp group that allows you to get to know each other before the actual event takes place. You go to the event, you say that you're going to sign up to it, which is through our app here. Log in quickly. On the Your Events page, these are events that me as a person is going to be able to go to. These are just local pubs, would recommend. So these are local events that we would post. You click sign up, that would say that you are going. Now the event takes place. You're going to sit 3 courses. And each course you move 1 seat to the left. That means that you talk to somebody new every single time. The idea is that you just make connections. You're meeting real people in real time. And then on the rest of the app as an idea, you have your home page, which has some of our previous events, and it's very basic. The idea is simple, effective, and brilliant dating. Shall we move on to some questions? Stop me rambling. Has anybody got any questions? I hope I've filled some gaps.
Big round of applause first, everyone.
I have a question. Misa, I have a question.
You're not allowed.
Dan, you said you're 18.
I am.
Where do you live, Dan?
I live in the southwest of Devon, mid of nowhere.
So you came here today?
Yeah, on the train.
To stand on that stage?
Yeah, it's all right.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you.
Who in our panel would like to ask a question? Rachel.
So I have a comment and then a question, if that's okay.
Go for it.
You said you were open to feedback. If everyone moves 1 space to the left, that doesn't do anything. I assume you mean every other person moves 2 spaces to the left.
Well, fine, let me do some math. I thought.
I'll leave that.
I trust you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on. Yes.
If we literally all move up, we're not sitting next to someone different.
You're correct.
Yeah. Just thought, I went to a networking event a while ago where they literally made us all move, so we all ended up sitting in exactly the same place.
No, yes, you're correct.
But anyway, no. But I mean, I do think this is great. I keep hearing from my son that nobody's doing dating apps anymore because they're rubbish. So obviously we need something else. I guess. Oh, sorry. My main question was: you've talked a lot about your algorithm.
Yes.
Did you design it?
I did.
Okay, and what is it that's unique about? I mean, I get the thing about
the algorithm necessarily isn't the unique thing.
Right.
It's how we use the results that it spits out. So the algorithm is based on a set of questions in the actual app, and they're kind of a bit unique because you can figure out a lot more about a person from questions than just face value. Yeah. There will be a few strange questions, random ones, like do you like red wine or white wine or whatever. But the idea is that everybody on the table could sort of get along with each other, or they do get along with each other. and that you meet connections almost through people. So if I was going on a date with Stuart, let's say, and we're chatting away, and actually Stuart thinks Dan is definitely not for me, but I've got a beautiful friend called Matt, who we would get on really well. So you're kind of making connections through people. The algorithm is just to bring people together in the first hand, and the connections kind of make themselves. That's the idea. I hope that
Okay.
answers your question.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
cool.
Another question?
Quick one. How do you make money?
There's a subscription fee. Now, the idea I would like to have is to make it really cheap, of like $5 a month. And for that, you get 1 or 2 events. Now, I know a lot of dating apps are free, but I also know that Tinder has levels to it where you do pay. There are dating apps out there that have hundreds of thousands of users that cost an absolute fortune. We have friends that I've got feedback from who actually use them. So the idea is that I'd like to make it cheap and effective, and also try and have 2 apps, one that's friendship-based and one that's relationship-based.
Have you considered monetizing the pubs so that you bring?
I have considered this, because you would get a lot of people through the door of pubs. The thing is, from my end, is that I know pubs would market this like hell. Because if pubs right now are struggling, which they are, they're closing constantly. If you can give pubs customers, they would really love to host Phase 8. And through that, they would market it for you. So it kind of be a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. Well, that's the idea anyway.
Going to quickly go to Menti. How are you different to time left?
I actually don't know what time left is. Anybody?
Exactly.
What is time left?
It's gathering people for the dinner.
Yeah.
Strangers, which they usually based on the location.
Is this based in the UK as well?
It's international. They're doing.
Because I've looked around, and the only thing that I could find, I haven't seen this, to be honest with you, is something called 8 to 8, which is in America, which is why I had so much support in the idea, because it obviously has worked over there. I didn't know what time left is, but
They have a really great interface, and they're pretty active all around the Europe as well. They
I'll have a look at it.
also-
I didn't know. I am sorry, that's a really
My
horrible.
question, but they also had a-
That's okay.
Yeah, it was my question.
Sorry.
So, time left, I think, is different, actually. You hadn't got to that point at the time, but
Okay.
time left isn't for couples, it's for individuals to go.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, but it's still, you don't have a crowd door.
Yeah.
I think we'll do
I'll have a look.
one more
I'm sorry,
question.
I didn't even know what it is, I'm sorry.
So, is your app just gonna bring them together, and then that's how it is, or else are you trying to make connections between who fit the best?
Say that one more
I
time.
mean, what I mean is, once you get the people on the table for an event,
Yeah.
how do you does your algorithm make sure who fits the best? Like, what's the best
Not
match?
necessarily. The big thing that the app needs to do from my end is actually a safety aspect. So after the event has happened, instead of me asking you for your number and potentially putting you under pressure, you actually get to choose who you connect with through the app, which just removes the stress and pressure of that. So the app is doing more than just connecting people, but the idea is the connection takes place through the app, so you haven't got the stress of me badgering you for your number, and you don't really want to give it.
So you just get them on the table, like
Get them on the table and then help them afterwards, just to make sure the connections are okay.
Quick one.
Is the dinner included in the subscription?
No, I'm really sorry. I'd love to, but that'd be a heavy subscription.
There was lots more hands up, so do go and grab Dan after the demo night. I'm sure he'd love to chat, but a big round of applause, please.
Well done, Dan.
Right, we've got to wait for our last demo to herd all the desks. Right, it's last demo, everyone. So big round of applause for Marco.
Yeah, you want to feel like a pop star? Love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. You look great.
Let's start with Wales. Go forward. Okay, well, I misjudged that, but yeah. Anyway, I think you read data somewhere and you're scared that I'll be boring. Don't worry, I'll not be. Okay, so yeah, I'm here actually to tell you a story about data in a way. We basically, and all the story begins with once upon a time. So once upon a time, software companies realized that they could track data, customer data, usage data, anything. And they started to get greedy. They started to take as much as possible. They started to take even something that was useless for them. And they realized, especially product decision makers, that what they were gathering was too much data. And they started to rely less on it. So they started to see less patterns. They started to use less and less until they started to make product decisions just based on biased on just a customer review they read or a competitor that launched a new feature. And never would they thought that this problem would actually matter and become bigger and bigger. Until now, which is a problem that burn every year 45 billion across Europe and United States from software companies on the wrong features that bring zero impact. And we're basically trying to fix that. That's why we're basically launching Alfred, which is a product analytics that acts as a lighthouse. So we're building it now actually because we believe that more than ever there are more data that are not used, and also especially companies are scared that their product can be replicated very easily with these old AI developers, you know. And we launched very recently, actually, just weeks ago. And during the first launch week, we closed 60K. Don't worry. No worry. Yeah, we launched our MVP very recently. We closed 60K during the launch week in ARR, and we built a pipeline of companies that are ready to be onboarded. 9 right now that is worth 200K. And we're also the right team on it. Unfortunately, my co-founder and CTO couldn't make it for Strike and stuff. But he's a next data analyst at Siemens and also a founding engineer, a next founding engineer and machine learning researcher. And me, I am a serial entrepreneur in a way. I built my first real startup during high school. We've become one of the top 100 apps downloaded in the country that we launched, and then we got acquired during university. And and I basically decided to join back in the startup game, but before I built a product growth agency to validate this problem with so many different shapes of the same problem and living through different people, the same problem. And we work with companies backed by YC, Techstars, Berkeley Cadec, until I closed the agency because it was enough. And I built this company, which is Alfred. And we're going up for a fundraise of 1 million pre-seed in mid-September in about 10 days. And yeah, yesterday, actually, I don't know if it's somewhere lost, don't worry. But yeah, we launched actually yesterday the kickoff of the pre-seed. We went viral and we got other VC. In total, we have 80 VC lined up for the pre-seed. And yeah, please burn me with question now.
Big round of applause, everyone.
Thank you.
So we go with first question from the panel.
Yeah.
Or
Could you just explain a little bit exactly what your company does?
Yes.
Sorry if I don't completely
No
understand
worries.
it, and who exactly your clients are.
Yes. Okay, so our target is software companies, pretty much SaaS as they call it, and we basically identify, instead of all this data and noise and dashboard, we identify certain data points that provide the massive ROI. So our platform, imagine if a platform would tap on your shoulder and say, hey, listen, I identified this data point, and this data point, and I find out there is a specific churn across a specific type of customer in the onboarding of your product. You're basically losing this amount of revenue. Here's the solution to fix it. And here, how much revenue we recover. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Right. Questions from the room?
So like I work in like a corporate company and we always have people talking about like trying to consolidate and better use of the data.
Yeah.
When you're working with these B2B SaaS companies, how are you exactly integrating with them? Like if it was to make this scalable, how would the onboarding look like? So you could like scale, or is it in a consulting phase right now where you work with the companies,
Yes,
or is
yes.
it a way to seamlessly integrate and get data out? And one last point, you mentioned a bit about data. What sort of specific data points are you tracking, and how do you get that response to identify this needs to be improved or this needs to be
That's a really good question. The integration part is one of the huge bottlenecks in this industry, and that's why in the last 10 years didn't improve so much, because you basically needed a lot of resources in the go-to-market to actually overcome the, oh my God, I have to integrate an analytics platform. And I think the hassle, it takes up to 6 months. There are entire agency that just pay, yeah, exactly. So in a way, we find out that from alternative data points, for example, the database and also internal chat, customer support, external data, we could extract over 90% of valuable data that are useful for the insight that we provide. And the reason about the scalability, it's a big issue. And also, it's the thing that allow, mixed panel or amplitude or something? Mixed panel, amplitude, this platform. Okay, they're basically event-based tracking. I'm sorry, but it's very technical, so it's hard to answer now. But it's basically these events are not very precise. They're scalable, but they're not precise. And that's why there is a lot of companies that are fleeing to searching other solutions that are more precise for them. And we basically connect to alternative data points, which I before mentioned, and we allow them 1 click, 1 second integration. We tackled this problem from the MVP because it was one of the bottleneck in scalability. So yeah, I hope I answered to your question.
Yeah, that's great. And I'd say an easy way to get past that bottleneck is to also provide your own API, so you put it back onto the customer to integrate with you.
Yes, ideally, we really want to go as much as outside. I mean, I don't want a line of code in the product and stuff so we're trying really to just 1 click, 1 second integration. And so far, we built an entire dual model approach to tackle that problem. So yeah.
Who wants the last question of the night? Well, actually, I've already been there, so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to get some exercise.
It might be a bit of an annoying question, but what is the difference between you and sort of companies like, I just Googled, I found Fresh Minds, data science consultancy, and they have sort of like a global network of data they already have and own.
Sorry, data agency consultancy?
Data analysis consultancy.
Okay.
And it also says they have a global they already have data they own themselves, which is going to help them with the consultancy they do for businesses. So what would be your sort of difference between?
Yes, there are 2 ways in how the problem is handled right now, which is the ones who can afford our massive army of data analysts, and the ones who can afford it are just doing still biased decisions. Our target is below enterprise, so the people that the companies that can afford to pay millions in this stuff. Eventually, we will go up market. We onboarded also an advisor for that, for the enterprise sales, which is very lengthy sales. And also at the moment is one of the investors as well. But as I said, the majority of the market can't hire the same agency that basically you need to hire to actually starting to understand the data. So yeah.
Okay, but would your final plan to be one of these global ones like Fresh Minds who have all the data? Is that your plan?
Sorry, what?
It would be your plan to be someone like Fresh Minds, where they have these teams which can.
It's our positioning is mixed panel with an AI data growth on it. So like a growth theme of AI agents, but it's not really what we do. But in a way, explain exactly what we want to do. So in a way, we want to act as a lighthouse for our customers to say, okay, listen, there's all this noise. We identify only the data points that are useful for you, and they can bring as much as revenue that are worth your time to fix that. So yeah.
Okay, and just sorry, this last one. I'm just with AI. What techniques are you using to make it different from other competitors?
Well, this is also a lengthy question, but I basically, there are 2 types of competitors actually at the moment. The first one are legacy players, which are basically players that are paid based on noise. So the more events they track, no matter how useless they are, the more revenue they get, as simple as that. And they are not willing to use alternative data points because, of course, it would destroy their business model. So in a way, we're covered on that. While new players, instead, they don't have the domain knowledge and lengthy on nailing the use cases. Because, as I said, they approach the market in 3 different ways, which is the first one, they build a reporting tool. which doesn't, I mean, it does a few millions in revenue. Many companies try to do that, but they didn't achieve that. Some of them, they try to build a LLM on top of it, thinking that the few use cases, they could be scaled in a way. And it doesn't work. Usually they scale in a very narrow vertical to make it work. And then there is the third type, which are hybrids. So they just pivot in a customer success way. So as I said, the problem here, it's really about, you can throw cash at figuring out the use cases for your target. And it's something that it takes times. It takes 2 years for me. I built a product growth agency as a medium to do that. I leave the problem with so many eyes and companies, how each of our target live the same problem through different shapes. And this is a very heavy consumer, it's a very heavy problem. That's why many of the competitors are still not where we are.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job. Well done. Okay, so please, if you get time just before we go, can you just do this bit of voting? This is one of the most important things for us, which is whoever gets voted for people's choice, your vote wins on this. We'll do a special interview with, we'll promote. And Rita, who was the people's choice in June, of running techniques, coming with us to Lisbon, to Summit, and getting a chance on stage there as well. We were the Portuguese startup in that environment for the week she's coming out and going. So I'd just like to say thank you to all of you. Firstly, for making the effort to be here and traveling through all this different stuff today. But secondly, for the questions and the feedback you gave today. That's exactly perfect what happened today, and the kind of things you suggested and you thought about, and the ways you're looking around stuff. That's what we want this room for. So thank you so much for doing that and for helping the founders that were brave enough to stand in front of you scary people and do that. So, given you'll come back next month when we do this on the second Wednesday. Does anybody want to give a demo next month? If you do, come and speak to me afterwards, and you'd be very welcome. We can orchestrate that and make it happen. Second Wednesday of every month is when we run these in person on this stage all the way through to the summer next year, and culminate in our special edition in London Tech Week, which will be where the people's choice votes from the year will be invited back. So it'll be the best of the best. One of those best is here today. We gave a demo before. Okay. Tell me one thing you learned today. One thing.
A lot of amazing talent around.
Some of it's still young, right?
Yeah, really.
Probably it's quite old. What else did you learn? Is there one thing that you're walking into the drinks with?
I'd say it's never been an easier time or the best time to start your own company and run with it.
Yeah, it's a really good time if you want to raise money in the UK. SEIS is much more accessible than, say, venture capital. You're doing really great, but you know, a lot of people putting up 250k into the bank and moving with an idea. It's quite accessible. The record in Canopy is 8 weeks to raise that money from the starting point of we're sending the first email to the money being in the bank. So 2 months later, you got 250k and you went to the race. Okay? One thing you're taking about.
AI is pretty big now.
Okay. You doing AI stuff? Yeah. All right. Tell me one thing you're taking over. Yeah. I do this to people. It's kind of like
to be honest, I'm very new to like all the startup entrepreneurial stuff. So seeing a lot of young people very inspiring to me. And one thing I learned today is that I need to learn a lot more about AI.
All right. Well, at Canopy, yes. What are you taking away?
I just realized what VCs have been talked about for a long time. As a big business model can be disrupted with one big feature in, say, like Google or Microsoft of the world. Whatever I just heard, it just validated the point of VCs being very scared of AI. Like whatever they're building for almost like 1 year or 2 years and with millions of money, probably or $500,000 of money, whatever, that can be disrupted within no time by Google or Microsoft in the world.
Yes.
So
Cool.
it's just a small feature what they've been building for ages.
Kind of interesting. Okay. On this stage, or stages that look like this, we've had people stand and say, I'm thinking about working on this idea, what do you guys reckon? And use it for feedback. We've had Hype Tribe on this stage saying we're moving to Portugal. How do we hire here? How do we integrate? how do we take a hyperscale company like this and locate it there? We've had all sorts of things on the stage, and people that look like me and people that look like you have stood on the stage and tried and learned and come back 3 or 4 or 5 times before they've been successful, or failed and come back again with the next idea. This is an open house, an open stage. You're very welcome. Come and bring your ideas on the second Wednesday with everyone. Have a nice time. Enjoy the rest of the day. Drink on Sarah's drink and stay till it's got.